know if anybody can move back into these homes for a long time, if ever.
My old house where I was born and raised at, it got hit and stuff. And down there where I lived, a friend of mine, I cut his hair. His house is gone.
My in-laws have lost everything. Animals are without, people are without, homes are destroyed.
On the morning of July 28, 2022, Eastern Kentucky resident William Gross awoke knee-deep in water.
He said, I think we're going to die over here.
Businesses have reopened and new homes have been built, but the destruction caused by flooding is still noticeable.
Just driving through Neon is such a small town. It was already a ghost town. Now it's just dust in the wind. When you drive through it, it don't seem real.
Now, 1 year since the flooding initially hit here in Letcher County, the recovery continues.
We always heard of flood warnings and things like that, but it was always pushed to the side. It was never a worry of any of ours.
Brandy White is just one of many displaced flood victims, still living in temporary housing after her home was destroyed.
The muck was 1.5 feet thick, and like caramel almost, and I couldn't walk anywhere, let alone to the road, anybody tell them I'm there.
She tells me she was stuck in her house for 3 days.
My next door neighbor, thank goodness we were, about 50 feet from each other. We could talk back and forth. I don't know, it was no water, no food, no nothing.
She tells me this lot was completely filled with campers about a month after the floods initially hit. Now, as the lot begins to clear out, William Gross found a new home out of the flood zone after being displaced for nearly a year.
Oh, it's going to be pleasant. It's going to be real pleasant. Just happy to have the place to go to, to live.
Business owner Katie Cottle was relieved to find her shop intact, but her home sustained extensive damage.
I mean, there's people honestly living in still flooded homes that are filled with mold, and it's just, I don't think they have any idea how to go about rebuilding.
As residents work to rebuild their community, some say they're having trouble finding affordable housing.
More room for to rent apartments. They need another apartment complex here for sure.
Residents still thankful for their community 1 year later.
I was just thankful that I was alive and that I had friends and people in the community that came to help. I was never without any sort of help, for sure.
In Whitesburg, Kiley Hill, News 5 WCYB.